Bitch, why don't you shut the fuck up before I slit your throat and watch the honor roll out? Are you threatening me? No, I'm hitting on you. Flash me a titty, bitch.
We love you.
Say it back!
My Hero Academia Chapter 390 is finally out, and with it comes the epic conclusion to the Todoroki family storyline. That's right, the long-awaited conclusion of the Endeavor, Shoto, and Dabi arc is finally here, and oh boy is it hot. Pack your summer clothes, baby, because we are in for some heat. But before we begin, don't forget to Detroit smash that subscribe button to keep up with all the Lunchtime Crew / My Hero content. And so, without further ado, let's jump right into My Hero Academia Chapter 390, titled Shoto Todoroki Rising. This chapter opens up right back where the last chapter left off, with Iida and Shoto rocketing through cityscapes with their combined quirks heading directly towards the nearly exploded Dabi and the desperate Todoroki family. Iida pushing himself beyond all of his known limits, with both him and Shoto noted by Tsukauchi to be traveling at transonic speeds, which is anywhere just below or above Mach 1, informs us and Shoto that he won't be able to continue going at this pace, as we see that the mufflers of his engines have already begun to tear apart. So, with one final push to help his friend, Iida throws Shoto forward off his back, giving the half-and-half hero the last bit of momentum he can before falling behind. And as Iida does this, he shouts after Shoto, not only thanking him for letting and helping Iida become the ideal version of himself, but also that it's because Shoto helped him become his ideal self that he wants to help Shoto achieve his own ideal as well. With these words echoing behind him, Shoto quickly regains his footing, continuing his desperate dash towards Dabi, as he begins to think about all the letters he wrote to his mother Rei after the sports festival. It's then revealed that in these letters, Shoto not only told his mother that he was giving it his all every day at UA to try and be a hero to the same level as his classmates, but also that he was practicing conversation. Shoto went on to say that although many of his conversations led to conflicts and misunderstandings, the resolution of these conflicts has allowed him to understand other people's feelings, noting that his friends in particular feel anger and cry even for strangers. So ultimately, if he wants to follow any ideal, it would be to be just like them. And with this thought, we see that Shoto has finally reached the battlefield, with his whole family in sight. The Todorokis, in seeing Shoto approaching, all turn in shock at their youngest kin rushing toward them, and Dabi, in seeing Endeavor's masterpiece once more, finally starts to unleash his devastating explosion, with his mouth agape and full of flames. Shoto, still rocketing in at full speed, seeing this and that his entire family is mere meters away from the epicenter of this explosion, thinks to himself how, if Dabi's origin was really something so simple, we could have solved it long ago, as he quickly raises his hand and lets out a powerful roar, unleashing all his might in one ultimate and desperate attack to stop his brother and save his family, once again using his new ultimate move, Great Glacial Ager. And as this massive ice attack shoots forward and clashes with the ungodly flames of Dabi's body, I mean, just look at the size of this clash, dear lord, the story briefly cuts away to everyone watching this fight both up close and at home, where we see the shockwaves created by the clashing of these two attacks affecting even those miles away, as the civilians look on in awe at the spectacle before them, until eventually both the ice and fire, this disperse. And as the smoke clears, we are left with the image of Shoto Todoroki battered, bloodied, and burned, with his arm out once again, standing above the defeated and chilled out Toya. Shoto, clearly injured and still suffering from Dabi's flames, declares that it was a good thing his family was there to help him, as there was no way his ice attack alone would have been enough to stop Dabi's flames, which Shoto then admits is proof that even with his perfect quirk, he can't do everything alone, proving that in the end, not even he could be considered Endeavor's so-called masterpiece. Dabi, now more skeleton than man, with no eyes and little of his skin left, I mean dude is basically Skeletor at this stage, somehow manages to regain his consciousness once more. And with what little strength he has left, he barely gets out his words, stating that everyone there, including himself, should be dead. Endeavor, in seeing his son is somehow still alive and looking very crispy himself, having taken on the brunt of his flames, weakly crawls over to his firstborn son, lies beside him, places his hand on his chest, and finally apologizes for not going to Shoto Peak to see him all those years ago. However, in response to this, Toya simply replies to his dad that he still hates all of his family, cementing that Dabi hasn't changed one bit. But in hearing this, Endeavor just asks Toya to continue telling him everything he feels, showing that Endeavor finally sees his son and is willing to give him the attention he so desperately craved. It's about fucking time, Endeavor. Endeavor himself then goes on to apologize to his entire family individually, apologizing to Rei for all of the abuse, to Fuyumi for pushing all of the family's responsibilities onto her, and to Natsu for abandoning him also. But when he gets to Shoto, we see that our beloved hero has completely run out of energy, and as our view of this messed up family gets further and further away, Shoto collapses on the ground beside his father and brother as Endeavor mumbled something before saying the words, "I'm sorry." And as far as we know, that is the last moment we see of the Todoroki family. Will Endeavor and Dabi survive their wounds? Who knows? As for us, the story cuts away. This time all the way over to Himiko Toga, where we see her still in Twice's body, looking on at where Dabi's flames once were, with tears in her eyes as she remembers Dabi words saying that they should all smile, before she says, "Toya, were you able to smile?" However, following this question, as the camera pans out, we see that Toga is not alone, as just in front of her, pinned by multiple clones, is everyone's favorite anti-gravity girl, Ochako Uraraka. And that's it for chapter 390. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like. For more content like this, subscribe to the Lunchtime Crew. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next